House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy with me now here on the Hill, and nice to see you, and thank you for your time. I know you were just at the White House. I heard him mention your name 3 times about 20 minutes ago, so thanks for the quick work. This is a town that only gets bigger.
Yes.
How are you going to trim 12% off the federal budget?
You can always find waste in a budget as large as ours, but what's more importantly, the ability of growth solves so many of our problems. Think about it. When you're going from a 1.5% growth to 3%, that solves a lot of things that we haven't had in the past. But where we stand around the world, the safety that you need, this is an investment we need into the military. We'll be able to get there to do the items that we need. We'll be able to find what needs to where cuts have to come. But we're going to have to get tax reform, healthcare reform. Look what he's doing on regulatory reform. He's setting new records of what he's been able to do in this short amount of time. Never before, when you look at the Congressional Review Act, to be able to go back and look at what has been imposed on us. And think about, in this last administration, they added more than 16,000 pages of regulation. That's 12 King James Bibles. And we've been able to set a whole new record about being able to repeal a lot of that to bring some common sense back. And you're going to see a new investment in this country we haven't seen before.
The proposal, just for the headlines, $54 billion in defense spending, and that's offset by cuts in the budget elsewhere, which I just suggested is a difficult thing to do, and you're explaining how it can be done, and you do it through growth. That's if you get the growth. GDP last quarter was 1.9%.
That's right.
He was talking earlier today about 3% at a minimum.
That's where we need to be. If we want to solve our problems for the future, we need to get growth back in America to 3% and higher. And think for one moment, where has the market been since the election day? We have been able to grow just from a small bout because the anticipation of what's going to happen right behind us. And we are on pace to make that happen. What we said, it's a 200-day agenda. Start with regulation. You're watching him sign those bills today, one after another. Congressional Review Act. Before President Trump went into office, only one time in history has one ever been signed. We've already passed, we'll pass our 14th one on the floor now. He's already signed 2 into law. It's taking a transformation. Healthcare, we start next.
When you think a lot about the work that happens back here, tax reform is very important to you.
Very important.
From what I read and from what I hear, it's August at the earliest. And 2 days ago, I'm hearing Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, suggest that it could perhaps float into next year.
No.
So what's it going to be?
It will not float into next year. Look, we will get health care repealed and replaced. Then we'll go right into tax reform. And the reason why you want health care first, one, it's collapsing around the country. And remember, Obamacare is in essence 2 things. It's the exchanges and the expansion of Medicaid. And both of those are collapsing in the process. So we've got to solve that problem. But by doing that, you repeal all those taxes. When you repeal all those taxes from inside the baseball, you change the baseline so you can do bigger comprehensive tax reform for everyone that brings greater growth.
Listen, a lot of it makes sense. I think the question is whether or not you can get it done and get everybody on the same page with the majorities that you have. And I know you're
I'll make this promise to you.
Oh, please.
I'm very optimistic. We have what is called reconciliation. It takes a simple majority. So all the politics that want to go on the outside, for those who want to be serious and want to have tax reform and health care reform, engage in the process, because it is going to happen.
We'll see. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
I got to run. Kevin McCarthy, House Majority Leader. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
President Trump.